This is Ron Burgundy. You need to add in like the Tyra Banks typing with the B. Google it, you'll see what I mean. Flight or flight, flight or flight, fight or flight. Do not have a task light on you if you are doing those activities. No one wants to see that. Yes, clapping cheeks. Look, I get it. We're not trying to make our house look like a showroom because that just isn't livable. Even though I'm one of those weirdos that perfectly makes my bed every single morning, I'm not a serial killer, I promise. I just like it to look perfectly done every day in the morning, which I know sounds like a serial killer and everyone makes fun of me for it, but that's just me. I know that having that picture perfect home is not always practical for the average person, especially when it comes to your bedroom. I've also seen a lot of common mistakes that many people make in designing their bedrooms, and that's why I'm here to help you avoid them. So if you're looking to create that cozy and stylish haven or sanctuary, whatever you want to call it, that's picture perfect for you, then you've come to the right place. Welcome back to my channel. If we have not had the pleasure of meeting before, my name is Phoenix Gray, aka Design Daddy, and on this channel we talk about all things interior design. I am here to make your house feel like a home regardless if you rent or own. You can also join my free design newsletter in the description box below, where I answer all of my most commonly asked interior design questions that you may have. I answer them there. It is absolutely free. First on the list is going to be inadequate lighting. Picture this, you're in a bedroom with only a single overhead light fixture, and this picture that's going to be added in is going to be my personal nightmare. While it might seem like an easy solution because it is the standard, it rarely provides the cozy and inviting ambience that you crave, especially in a room that requires some level of intimacy. Inadequate lighting can really leave your bedroom feeling dull, uninviting, and lacking in character. And I know people are always going to make fun of me of like, oh, not every room needs a level of character. It does. And I'm here to give you the solution, and we're going to do a breakdown of the layered lighting and how it really works and can be achieved in your space. I want you to incorporate a mix of different lighting sources to really achieve a balanced and harmonious effect. You're going to get sick of hearing me say this, and I will say it 1,000 times over again. It is layered lighting. But honestly, it is the one tip that literally applies to every single room and is going to make the biggest impact. I've mentioned this before on how important it is to create a sense of ambience in a room. A bedroom is a very intimate space, and the lighting should be able to reflect that. The easiest way to achieve this is by bringing in low-level light and avoiding the ceiling lights altogether. Consider adding lighting under your bed or even around the headboard if you want that glow. Think about having lights that direct the light down below eye level. This is going to directly have your attention to stay down. That really gives you that level of intimacy and coziness. Start with ambient lighting. This general illumination is going to set the mood for the room itself. Think of certain ceiling fixtures that don't provide that awful stark hospital lighting that sends us into that fight or flight situation. We want to have that beautifully scaled chandelier that fits right above the bed, or even strategically placed wall sconces above your nightstand. This is also a luxe tip to giving you more space for your nightstands and keeping those surfaces clear of those larger bulky items, which are usually lamps.
I love lamp.
Doing this is also going to provide you with a base level light that is already going to look way better than having it just on the ceiling. When it comes to task lighting, think of it more as a function. Reading lights or even pendant lights hanging over a nightstand is going to give you those targeted sources that provide the light that you need when you're actually doing specific activities. I'm kidding, do not have a task light on you if you are doing those activities. No one wants to see that. Although these can also fall under wall sconces in both categories, depending on the light, it can really give you one or the other. If you have an adjustable arm with a cone, it can be direct and it can act as a task light. If it has a glow, then it's categorized as an ambient. I'm gonna say this a million times more, but lighting is a tool that can completely transform the way you experience your bedroom. And when I say experience, I'm talking about the visitors too. Wink, wink. Insert joke. So when you're planning on your bedroom design, don't underestimate the power of a well thought out lighting scheme to actually enhance every aspect of the room. Lighting is the easiest and the most affordable tool to really make a space look expensive. Almost as bad lighting is choosing the wrong color scheme is another really common design mistake that I see when it comes to designing and decorating your bedroom. Trust me, I get it, there are so many options out there, and clashing colors or even that monotonous hue can really disrupt your room's harmony and relaxation. It's not going to allow you to unwind in the evening and get you to fall asleep as easily. The key is to creating a sense of balance, much like any room. Choose a dominant color, add complementary hues for depth, and introduce pops throughout accents that have the same undertone as your dominant color. For example, if your dominant color is a blue, consider using lighter shades for walls and larger surfaces while introducing darker tones throughout the furnishings or even decor pieces to bring in that depth so it doesn't feel flat and monochromatic. Having your eye travel around the room is like connecting the dots, but making your space feel more thoughtfully designed. Proportions also play a huge role in creating harmony in your space. The 60-30-10 rule really ensures that balance. It means that 60% of your room is a color scheme and it's the dominant hue, while 30% is your secondary color and 10% is the accent color. This will allow you to use multiple colors without it feeling like it overpowers a space, and the only thing dominant in the space should be me, if we're being honest. I could make a full video just talking about this color choosing rule, so if that's something that you want to know about, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to add that to my list to really go into depth on how to coordinate colors with that 60-30-10 rule. It sounds complicated, but trust me, it's a lot easier than you think it is. I personally am a believer in dark and moody bedrooms. It really allows you to decompress and have that intimate setting to unwind, especially at the end of the day, but I also understand that that's not for everyone. Neutrals and taupes are a great start if you want something that's warm and easy to work with without committing to a bold color. And no, I'm not talking about that sad beige that everyone is going online about right now and how everyone is just sad. You have the sad beige children, you have the sad beige parents, it's a whole thing. But let's get into the dark earthy tones because those can really bring your focus back to nature and give you that cozy style while completely remaining timeless. If you do like colors, I would recommend going with more of a pastel version so it doesn't feel like it's over amplified in the room. Bright and vibrant colors really give a lot of energy that should be avoided in a room that you really want to be more calm and relaxing. Third on the docket is bed placement, and honestly, it is way more important than you think it is in a room. It's more than just finding a corner to squeeze it into. The placement really affects the flow and functionality, and shoving a bed into a corner is not going to give you a balanced and relaxing look, and it's really going to be super ugly if I'm being honest. It doesn't look great. Have your bed pushed into a corner. You need to have space on each side of the room to really allow the room to breathe and the overall style and aesthetic work with your space. Consider the bed's role as an actual focal point. Ideally, it should be the centerpiece of the room, immediately drawing your attention as you enter. So whether using it for sleeping or other late night activities, you know, like eating, we all do that in bed.
Eating what in bed?
Food. Oh my God, Brody, what is wrong with you? The bed should really be the center of attention in any room, just like me. It needs to be a safe grounding point whenever you're in it. Placing the bed against a solid wall, ideally the widest one, achieves this grounding look. It can instantly create a sense of coziness and anchors the room, allowing you to design around it with some flow. I get it though, there can be some exceptions here, but make sure the bed doesn't block the natural pathway through or around the room. This is another really common mistake I see about having it blocking and intersecting pathways for your travel. Locating the path of travel through the room is easy. Just think of the direction that you would naturally move through from room to room if you have more than one door or multiple doors in the space. Like if you're going through to your ensuite or your closet, that's going to be your path of travel, and it is easy to distinguish in any room. If you block this pathway, it's going to feel really uneasy and you're going to notice it even if it doesn't feel direct. Having a symmetrical setup with identical nightstands on either side of the bed offers a classic and really harmonious look. Alternatively, even an asymmetrical design can really give you a dynamic look while still achieving that balance. Having that asymmetrical look is really great if your room doesn't have room for two nightstands. You can still have that cohesive look on each side to create that sense of balance while not feeling like if it's offsetting. I personally have done this in my bedroom because I live in a tiny little shoebox in the sky, and I have one giant nightstand and one is literally a set of stacked nesting towers. The way to really achieve the balance in the look though, even though these are offset, having that height and balance appear when it's not. So on the side that I have the two nesting stands, I have additional height that draws your eyes to that, and it balances over on the other side with a shorter amount. So it has that asymmetrical look, what I'm trying to explain. Lastly, consider the functionality and the views of your space. Placing the bed near a window can really offer a beautiful view, depending where you're living, And natural light is always necessary in a bedroom. I'm sorry if you live in that 150 square foot shoebox in Brooklyn. I know the views are non-existent, and I'm so sorry that you live in those conditions. I want you to also remember that privacy and practicality also play a role in your bedroom design. I know it's difficult for condos because it's all glass and you can see everything your neighbor is doing, and I mean literally everything. Who needs to subscribe? Who needs to subscribe to OnlyFans when all you have to do is look out your window? I can count all the amount of times that I've looked out and seen a naked neighbor just walking from their living room to their bedroom and back to get a glass of water. It's kind of disturbing how many times you can do that in a city, but this is where we live. Never cute. It's never the ones that are naked that you want to see naked, I'm just saying. The fourth factor that I really see a lot of individuals forget is about sound absorption within the bedroom. Yes, I said it. I know where you were thinking, and I just put it out there. Some of us are loud, okay? There's nothing to be ashamed of. Cue loud banging noises. Think of using materials and techniques that really reduce the sound reflections and dampen the noises, creating a more serene atmosphere. This is also going to reduce all the noises that are coming from there, like playing loud music or clapping, you know, if you're watching an award show or something.
Yeah, clapping cheeks.
Yes, clapping cheeks.
I can even do it in my sleep.
Regardless, soft furnitures and textiles are fantastic sound absorbers. The biggest one would be your rug. This is the most sound absorbing areas that you can actually transfer in a room that is complete opposite to hardwood. The hardwood floor would reflect while the sound absorption for the rug is actually going to absorb it, and it is a complete game changer. If you do not have a rug, add wood in and you can instantly tell the difference. Heavy curtains and upholstered furniture are also going to help to really absorb the sound waves instead of bouncing them around the room. Think of it like an echo. It's always going to bounce, and if you have any soft points, that's going to absorb it. If you really need to reduce sound, because you know, some people are super loud, there are acoustic wall panels to really muffle it. And if you really want to go the extra mile, some wallpaper even has an acoustic rating that is going to make a real difference. Not all of those are necessary, but honestly, if you are going with something, go for a textiled headboard because it's gonna work the exact same. The softer the fabrics you use in the room, the better, and the bed sheets generally absorb most of the sound. So double up on the comforters, like I always say, because it's really going to create that cloud-like look for a bed setting, providing not only comfort and coziness, but also peace and quiet. Scale and proportion is another factor that is often overlooked in any spaces, but specifically in the bedroom. Scale and proportion. I feel like that could be another joke. We're not judging your scale and proportion. Oh, we're so funny. The equilibrium of a room is usually thrown off when you have a gigantic bed frame and a super tiny nightstand, or even that vice versa look. This also applies to those excessively, insanely large 5-piece bedroom sets that take up the entire room. And I know, sometimes you can get the 5 set, sometimes you can get the 7. I've even seen an 8 and 10 piece bedroom set. And if you have one of those, we need to have a chat because it's giving the brick showroom and you're not doing your space any justice. I get it, back in the day, this idea of super bulky pieces really gave off this sense of luxury, but they really overpower the room and they disrupt the visual harmony. Instead, opt for appropriately sized pieces of furniture that feel scaled to the room and don't cover every square foot. If you are ever questioning the size of something, measure it out and put painter's tape on the ground. This is going to mark out exactly how everything looks, so it actually feels right in a space without it feeling overpowering and cumbersome. Your bed should also be a comfortable proportion to the room's dimension, which usually is about 1/3 for the overall space, leaving enough room for nightstands without actually making them appear like they're minuscule along the wall. Oh my God, pardon me. Artwork is another really fantastic way to express your style, and I always recommend it in every room, but choosing pieces that don't fit the wall or the room's overall aesthetic can really throw things off. I've seen some weirdly sized pieces above headboards that look so awkward, or frames that aren't at eye level, really throwing off everything in the room because no amount of negative space around it is going to fix it. The amount of negative space that sits around those artwork itself is just that, and I want you to think of it to be just as important as the actual art. My favorite way to determine a bedroom or even any room to make sure it's scaled properly is standing back and squinting. This is going to allow you to see the negative space and the perspective of what actually bulks together and seemingly what actually looks good and what doesn't look good. Because if you're seeing blobs everywhere when it squints together, it's going to look really awkward. This works really great for artwork and any accessories as well in any room, so don't just apply this to just the bedroom itself. What number are we on? Are we on 6, 7? No, it's 6. Have you ever walked into a bedroom and felt stuffy or lacked really fresh air, like it just felt stale? Nothing makes you want to turn straight around and get out of a room quicker than feeling suffocated in a space, and honestly, air is really important. Disregarding the whole aspect of airflow and ventilation can really lead to a range of issues, from indoor air quality, poor quality to begin with, and even discomfort when you actually want to fall asleep. You want to feel like you're breathing clearly and without any disruption. Proper ventilation also helps remove odors and excess moisture, as well as indoor pollutants that can really accumulate in closed spaces, especially if it's shared with a bathroom or they're within close quarters to itself. Yes, I know the size of condos now today, and they are not cute. I know that toilet is literally within like a body's reach from most bedrooms, and I get it. Really having that circulation throughout the room is going to prevent that stagnant feeling. If you have the possibility of having multiple windows in a bedroom, or actually, if that's, I should say that's a luxury. It's not even a possibility. If you have the luxury of that, think about having the windows at least on opposite walls. That way they can be opened and create a path of air for the actual air to move through, keeping the room airy and comfortable. If you don't have this, consider at least having your window slightly cracked just to let fresh air in. Trust me, it is going to make a huge difference. And if your bedroom doesn't have a window, or if it doesn't open, or you live way too up high in the sky to even have a functioning window or to have that fresh air, think about at least having a fan to at least move the air around in a room. Window treatments are really important and play a special factor when it comes to airflow as well. Heavy drapes or blinds can obstruct airflow, so really keep that in mind. Opt for light and breathable curtains that allow the air to move freely through the space, and nothing feels or looks as luxurious as those drapes just in the wind with that airflow coming in. I am very partial to the Dyson I have myself because it doesn't have that choppy sounds that most fans would. It almost gives off that white noise effect at night that drowns out all the other sounds. However, any fan to your liking is going to do here. I know it's a luxury, but Dyson, I'm waiting for that sponsorship, so hit me up anytime. If I see you with nightstands without storage, we're gonna have a talk. Because they serve as functional extensions of your bed, let me get right into this. They provide a convenient spot for storing essentials like books, chargers, even a glass of water. Keeping your bedside area organized and tidy is absolute key in your overall design. If I can give you any advice that's worth more than money, it would be to get a nightstand with hidden storage, because we don't need to see the lotion and tissues on display. We get it, your hands are very soft. We also are never sure if they're happy tissues or sad tissues, but I don't judge.
Are those sad tissues or happy tissues?
Not only do nightstands with storage offer you functionality, but they also contribute to the room's visual appeal. They complete the look of your bed setup and also provide you a way to really showcase your style to anyone that you may be showing your room off to. Sometimes the pets need a little home tour. I'm not here to judge whoever you're showing it off to. Some people like to match the bed frame to the nightstands, but juxtaposing them with that light and the dark complementing wood really spices the look up. Let's talk about another crucial point within this category, which is avoiding over accessorizing surfaces. It's easy to get carried away with decor. Trust me, I do it sometimes, but less is often more. And if you have the opportunity to have a wall or ceiling mounted wall sconce, like I mentioned before, it is a game changer to actually keeping your surfaces clear. Instead of cramming every surface with decorative items, be selective. I know it's hard, but I want you to choose a few items that actually serve a purpose and contribute to the room's ambience, and ditch the rest, or at least find another room that they can serve a function in. I know sometimes this is a controversial subject because you're either for them or against them, but headboards act as a focal point and visually anchor the bed in the entire room. It provides a sense of structure and really creates a clear separation between the bed and the rest of the space. Most bedrooms without one feel incomplete and lack that visual impact. And if you just have your pillows up against it, it doesn't give you the look that you think it does. With the headboard, it gives you that level of height that offsets the other items in the room that really gives you that same visual plane in contrast. There are so many different options out there to go with. You can go with a wooden accent, a tufted, a super large scale one, or even a custom upholstered one. These also play a great role in sound absorption for your snoring, of course. Having a padded headboard also provides a comfortable backrest for sitting up in bed, reading, or even watching TV if you have it in the room. It's a small luxury that really enhances your overall bedroom experience. You can have any kind of bedroom experience, but this is going to enhance it 100%. It also, at the end of the day, makes your room feel much more put together. I know headboards may not seem like something that's necessary, but a headboard is more than just a design element. It's a transformative feature that really adds a focal point and style and practical comfort to your overall bedroom design. I know you may not think it's worth it, but wait until you get to the age where you wake up and everything hurts. A quality bed offers the ultimate comfort and support for a restful night's sleep, and it is of just as important as the rest of these design elements. Your bed is where you spend a significant portion of your life, so investing in a comfortable mattress, a sturdy frame is an absolute game changer for you and your well-being. I know some of you are willing to drop between $3,000 and $8,000 on a bag, but when it comes to the bed that you are using more than anything else in your life, do not cheap out. No babe, you do not need a new Chanel, you need a Tempur-Pedic. Please love yourself and get yourself a proper bed. Arusha wrote that one. You can get a really great quality one for under $2,000. Yes, I said $2,000. Those $500 to $1,000 ones are not going to last you long enough to actually be worth it. Most beds have a lifespan of 10 years. And don't get surprised with me because you can literally put a price on sleep. Well, I guess you technically can, because if you've heard of Hostin's beds, they make a line that starts at $20,000. It goes up to almost $500,000. And they literally are a different tax bracket, but their slogan is, we put a price on sleep, and they literally did. And I don't even know what to consider there. I am a loss for words. I'm also not just talking about the bed itself when it comes to the quality as well. Fabrics that you use in your bedroom really are important. Opting for higher quality fabrics like linen, cotton, or even bamboo fibers create a soft and sensual experience that not only elevates the look of your bedroom itself, but the actions that take place in the bed. And I'm talking about sleeping. Please get your mind out of the gutter because we've said enough sex and bedroom jokes, but there's probably one or two more coming. Cheap and crunchy sheets are the absolute worst. I will always recommend cotton or a linen blend as I find it is the best and the most comfortable for almost every season in terms of temperature control. And it's also really great for moisture wicking properties if you're a hot sleeper like I am. Remember that designing a cozy bedroom goes well beyond the aesthetics. It's about crafting a space to really embrace comfort, style, and more importantly, functionality. For a quick recap, we've talked about the significance of a quality bed that offers comfortable and durability, a well-chosen headboard that acts as a focal point and complements your overall style, and even the fabric choice that enhances both the comfort and sensory delight. Wow, did I just say sensory delight? I did. We're going with it. Blech, I'm gross. These elements, combined with a thoughtful consideration of airflow ventilation, nightstands with storage, and avoiding over-accessorizing, really create a truly cozy and inviting bedroom sanctuary. And by inviting, you can take that which way you want. That's it for today, so make sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok for all my daily design advice and Mr. Phoenix Gray. And if you're ever second-guessing yourself, just ask, what would Design Daddy do? 2 thumbs up.